Hey guys, this is Alicia and Adam, and we're back with our second episode.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's January the 1st, 2020.
New decade.
So how do you say 2020? Do we say 2020? Do we say 2020? Like, what feels good?
2020 rolls off the tongue a little bit better. I
Yeah.
think.
The whole 2020, that just feels choppy and ugh.
Yeah, sounds a little weird. Yeah.
So, New Year's resolutions, same conversation.
That everybody's having, I'm sure. Yeah.
Everybody's having. Yeah.
We actually have some this year that we didn't have previously.
Yeah. So
you're continuing the diet stuff.
yeah. So I have been trying to lose some weight, and today I weighed myself, and I weighed 204 pounds. So I got a goal of 145. So I need to lose about 60 more pounds. So we'll see. We're trying.
Yeah, it's getting there. Doing
Gonna
good.
try to drink more water, maybe exercise some more. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna try and do some meditation.
Yeah.
Trying to do some more of the astral projection type stuff.
Okay. Trying to
As we talked about last week. Yeah.
calming the mind.
Calming the mind, yeah, get myself there. I want to explore the astrals
Yeah.
this year. I want to do all of the exploring,
The astrals.
all of the astral things.
All right.
Yeah, so
So, we'll just keep everybody updated and, kind of give an update here and there and see how we're doing.
yeah, let us know how your resolutions are going in a month or so,
Yeah.
because I'm sure most of us will be not doing what we said we were doing today. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay. All right. So.
but we're gonna win this year. We're gonna win this decade, right? That's what we always say.
We're going to win this decade.
I'm winning this decade.
Wow.
So
That's a lot of pressure.
I'm winning it. I'm telling you. I'm doing it.
Hashtag winning.
Hashtag winning. All right, let's start this thing.
All right.
Go.
I looked up and I saw a shadow man. It was just a silhouette of blackness with a hat on top of it. And I don't know, it gives me the chills to think how long he might have been watching me down there playing. But he was watching me. And I looked back at him and I could see that there was this evilness in him, this presence, overbearing, malevolent presence. And it just shocked me, and I didn't know it was, the fear was like what you would see if you got your family hit by a car right in front of you, that rush of adrenaline that would shoot inside of your body. I had that fear, and it was gripping me, and it tore at me so hard. And I stared back at him, and he had this silhouette, wide shoulders, a hat. He looked like he was wearing a trench coat, and he seemed to absorb the light and get blacker and blacker. This was in the middle of the day, and he's outside the window, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm seeing blackness there.
Welcome to the Circle Path. Happy New Year. Tonight we'll be discussing shadow people and what people seem to think they are, what we think they are, and our run-ins with them on various paranormal investigations. So good news. Finally got our Twitter up.
Yeah.
You guys could continue to send us some stories about astral projection or shadow people, as it may seem tonight. Anything you want. Ideas for an upcoming podcast, whatever. But tonight we're going to be talking about shadow people and what they might be. So we've had our own experiences with them, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I guess I'll start with a little background. I think did a little more research on them. Apparently, it was a term coined by author Heidi Hollis on Coast to Coast a long time ago with Tarbell. Yeah, she wrote a book called The Secret War, where she describes them as dark silhouettes with human shapes and profiles that flicker in and out of your peripheral vision. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just my mind or what, but I see them quite a bit.
That feeling like, oh, somebody there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently, I guess in more recent times, people have been seeing them more directly, having direct interactions with them, more face to face than previously thought.
Okay.
But they've been making themselves a little bit more known. I guess that what comes to mind is, the like we were talking about last week, the red-eyed demon you see in your room or whatever. Yeah. So, have you had any interactions with them face to face versus in your peripheral?
I personally have.
Well-
Wow. I don't know. I don't know what I see.
Okay, well, tell us about it.
I mean, I can think of several different times, but one in particular, recently, we were just kind of having some strange things happening in the house as it was with, like, just kind of unexplained things here and there. And I'm skeptical with things. So you hear a noise, I'm not going to say it's a ghost. I don't know. I mean, it could be a mouse, it could be plumbing, it could be whatever. So, just kind of weird things here and there. And then as I was coming around the corner, it was probably, I don't know, I would say it was...
Yeah, you're in our house.
I'm in the house.
You're walking upstairs, right?
Right. I'm upstairs.
Is there anyone else in the house?
People are in the house, yeah. But it's like...
Were you the only one upstairs?
No, I wasn't the only one upstairs, but it was about 8 or 9 o'clock, and I think the kids were in bed.
Okay. So we have little kids.
Yeah.
They go to bed early, so...
They go to bed early.
Just trying to set the context a little bit.
Yeah. So coming around the corner and just, there was it was probably about 8 o'clock at night, and it was like summer. So, well, no, it was more like fall. Yeah, it was definitely like fall because it was like pretty dark in the room. And this dark figure, it was definitely a person, like rushed up on me, and I could see it. I mean, it came from, it was at the window, so you can see how, you could see the darkness, because I couldn't see the blinds. It looked like a person standing there, and it rushed up on me, and I backed up away from it because it looked like it was going to walk into me. I actually thought it was my oldest child that was up walking around. And I backed up and I turned the light on like, whoa, you're going to hit me in the face. And when I turned the light on, there was nothing there.
So were you tired or?
No, I was definitely not tired.
How did you sleep the night before?
I don't remember that.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't know.
Sleep deprivation could be a thing, right?
Okay, definitely, but it was definitely something. I don't know how to describe it. It was like, what the hell was that? Like, it freaked me out.
So were you able to see any kind of visual features? Or
no
features?
it was the light that was coming into the room was coming from the window, but it was like past dusk where it was pretty dark in the room. I mean, you could still see things. I mean, you could still see things in the room. Like, it was light enough that you could walk around in the room without, tripping or anything like that. But when I seen this person, I'm going to say it's a person, walking up, that's why I thought it was my child, my oldest child, because I thought she was going to hit me in the face. Like, and it was so fast. Like, they were coming so fast that I stepped back, like, that feeling like you're going to smack me in the face. Like, whoa. I don't know how else to describe it.
I got it.
It was weird. It made me very uncomfortable. And I was very uncomfortable for several days after that.
Going up there or just?
Yeah, just going up there. It felt very, I can't explain it because I mean, I don't know what happened.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It was odd.
Yeah, very interesting.
I don't know. What do you call that?
See, that's where I'm at with this. What do you call this? Like, there's a paranormal researcher. Her name is Rosemary Ellen Guiley, and she seems to think that they're tied in with the extraterrestrial phenomena. Because according to her research, she says that the proportion of people having experiences with shadow people and the people that have experiences with abductions or ET are right in line with one another. So, like, if you see shadow people, you're more likely to see an ET or be abducted, according to her research. So, I mean, we joke about that all the time, that Alicia gets abducted. She whacks me in the middle of the night, whatever.
Yeah, it's real hilarious. We joke.
We joke, whatever.
No.
We've never seen an alien in our room. However, they could be coming around.
Oh my God. This is like my biggest fear ever.
To look up and just see them just like running around the bed or what?
Yes, being abducted. Seeing like an alien.
You want to see the Greys? They're friendly.
No,
they're friendly.
I don't want to. No.
Travis Walton said they were friendly.
So. Oh yeah, he did. He's ready to get back in that spaceship.
I'm sure.
Right.
So what about, do you think that they're possibly like interdimensional, let's say?
Shadow people.
Yeah, so I mean they're not quite physical, but they're not quite spirit, or like a spirit figure.
Like a ghost.
Yeah, not like a ghost or anything. They can come and go.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I stand with it. It's hard for me to say that it's not a ghost. I don't know.
So so they're usually associated with like bad hauntings or places where
right
crazy stuff happens, right? But I mean, we see them all the time. Everybody out of your peripheral, right? So what are they? Are they coming and going?
I don't know. So why is it that you see them out of the peripheral versus straight on, like I did? So are you saying that what I seen wasn't a shadow figure, or?
I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm saying that in recent times, they've been making themselves more known, right? So, like presenting themselves to you in a straightforward manner versus in the peripherals, right?
So are we thinking, I mean, so the little bit of research that you've done on this is pointing towards possibly them being one of the same with an ET?
That's what some people are saying. So, I mean, if we go the Fortean route, right? So we think it's a holistic phenomena, right? They're all parts of the same phenomena. It could be. I don't know. Could be. Could not be. I don't know. I just know that they're associated with bad hauntings, right? And we kind of had a haunting issue here, but not too bad, right? It's not a bad thing, right? But there's people that have issues with, like we played earlier, the Hat Man, right? Which is, people equate with a demonic feel towards the Shadow Man, right? He has a top hat. People can make out this top hat, but no other visible features, right? So is it a demonic entity? Is it just a harbinger of bad things, like kind of Mothman-esque? Mm-hmm. Or is it just an interdimensional entity coming and going? Like in a place where, like Waverly Hills, for instance. So Waverly Hills, there's a lot of crazy shit that happens there, right? We went there.
We went there.
So we went there, and we had some run-ins with shadow people there as well. I mean, like I had one that essentially ran at me just the same way it did with you. You were standing right there, but it ran right in, not directly towards me, but it ran in front of me and almost knocked me over. So it's very similar. It seems like they're brazen and they don't care where they go, and they just come and go. That's my thoughts on it.
I mean, when we've done other investigations on the few that we've seen, I mean, it's so hard to say that what you're seeing is not a shadow from a camera or a light source that we can't figure out where it's coming from. I mean, it's hard to tell in so many of the circumstances if it's an actual something or if it's a true shadow person, right?
Yeah. Totally.
So Waverly Hills, as you're walking around, there's light sources, and there's all these like open doorways and walkways, and so you're walking around with cameras, and we went on a public investigation, so there was a lot of people and there was just a lot of noise, so some of the times it was just hard to really tell, is this truly something or is it, like light trickery. So, I mean, a lot of people could argue that you think you see something out of the corner of your eye, you look over and there's nothing there. It's like, I mean,
Yeah, it's hard to prove either way.
Yeah.
For sure.
But what is it? Yeah, so, I mean, you were just talking with somebody that had wrote to you about astral projection, right?
Yeah, so we had somebody that was listening to the show last week. They wrote to me on Twitter, and I won't use his name here until he gives me permission. He's going to give me a little bit more about his story, hopefully sooner than later. But essentially, he said that the first time he astral projected, there was 3 shadow beings in his room, just waiting for him to pop out of his body, right? And I guess he was scared out of his mind, so he goes and dives back into his body, right? He says in subsequent ones that they've made themselves known, and he knows that they're not going to hurt him. So they're not malevolent, but they're there. So they could be bad, but it seems like they don't give a shit about him.
Okay, so maybe he's kind of passing by them and they're just doing their own thing.
Yeah, they just kind of inhabit the space, but they don't really care about what he's doing.
Okay. So when we were discussing astral projection, I mean, one of the ideas is that when you're in the astral realm, you could see ETs or shadow figures, right?
Yeah, totally.
So potentially they are one of the same.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with it. I there's some kind of. I mean, if you think about it, right? So like you see a UFO comes into existence, pops back out of an existence, right? A shadow person does the same exact thing, right? He's there for a second, he's gone, right? Where does he go? Is he still there, or is he in and out, right?
I don't know.
That's my thoughts on it. Yeah, so even our kid, our oldest kid has had a run-in with this thing here at the house, right?
Right.
And it was in a similar spot as the one you saw. Mm-hmm. Could be the same. Could be like a transit gateway up there or something, right? So like a shadow person highway, if you will, right? So, like the shadow highway.
Wow.
That's what I think I'm going to call this episode, the shadow highway.
Oh. No. You can't say that.
Anyway, yeah. So I don't know if they're coming in and they just come and go in one spot, and that's why we're seeing them as they come and go. Maybe they're transiting from one plane through ours to another, and the only way to get there is through ours. I don't know. They've been seeing them. They've been seeing them for thousands of years.
So if we've seen them for thousands of years, then why is it that we're just now hearing about it, like from coast to coast? Which, I mean, Coast to Coast started airing in what?
The 90s.
The 90s.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think the term shadow people was coined by her. I don't think the idea of them was coined by her. Right. So they existed. They've been seen for thousands of years, but no one has sat down and said these things are called shadow people until Heidi Hollis did it, I think, from my research. If that makes sense. Anyway, so what do we think? What ultimately do we think they are? Do we think they are interdimensional? Do we think that they're extraterrestrial? Or are they a blend of of both? Are they ultra terrestrial?
so what's an ultra?
So ultra terrestrial
Yeah.
is an interdimensional extraterrestrial, right? An interdimensional, not extraterrestrial, an interdimensional alien being, let's say. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what to think they are. I have no idea.
Should we try and call one? Should we summon them or like come to the house and tell us what you are?
Why don't we have somebody else do that?
Oh, okay. Does anybody out there summon shadow beings on the reg and want to tell us what the hell they are? Because that would be great. We have no idea.
I don't know. Sometimes I watch the Dead Files and Amy Allen, which I'm just in awe of her. I think she's just unbelievable. She's amazing. Anywho, she talks about shadow people, and I mean, when she, if you don't know who Amy Allen is, she's like a psychic medium, and they're on a TV show. She's on a TV show.
That's the one on Travel Channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. From what I understand, that how she explains it, it seems like they are different than aliens. I don't know. Like,
how does she describe it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how she describes it, but I mean, she makes it seem like they are different than an alien, and she'll talk about other, creatures and different things and demons and different stuff. So it seems like there are all these different entities.
According to her.
According to her.
Okay.
I don't want to speak for her, but from the way I get the information when I'm watching her is that they are different. They're different than an alien.
Does she say anything about where they come from?
I don't know. I'm sure she has. But
yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what a psychic medium has to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, she's really interesting to watch on TV. But she talks about all these other things aside from shadow people. So, I don't know. I mean, if she's seeing all of this, I mean, if she can just walk in and see all of this, then, I mean, I would tend to believe her. I mean, I find her very truthful when I watch her on TV. I don't get that feeling that she's full baloney.
Like some of the stuff we see on TV?
Yeah.
Some of the paranormal shows. I won't say any specific, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So, yeah, I guess if you're a psychic medium or something like that, and you could see these things, you know what they are, tell us. That would be great.
Yeah.
Or tell us how to see them.
Or tell us how not to see them.
Or how to avoid them. Yeah. I guess that's a better way to say it. I was gonna say see them so that we can avoid them properly.
Oh.
Avoid the places that they are. But if we can avoid them without having to see them, that'd be great too, right?
Okay, so you say that they've been around for thousands of years.
Yes.
Like, what in your research has explained that? Or
So, I would say, so let me pull up the article here. They're talking about the Quran mentioning pitch black sapient beings that aren't entirely spiritual or physical. And I guess people in ancient Europe reportedly believed that shadow beings desired blood, and without it, they couldn't be reborn. So, maybe they're like transient spirits as well. And they need blood, like a blood sacrifice to not be that anymore. I guess that's what that the Europeans thought a long time ago. But apparently, yeah, I don't know. I guess in the in the recent times. Oh, even Rosemary Ellen Guiley, she has a book. It's called The Vengeful Djinn. And she equates them to possibly being Djinn as well. So Djinn, in case you're unaware, do you have any idea what Djinn are?
no.
So Djinn are like the basis for the Genies right out of Arabia or whatever. So they're like the equivalent of demons out of the Islamic religion, right? So people see the Djinn, then they're looking at a demon or whatever, right? And they're made from the winds, they say, and they say that they're the root. Like Rosemary Ellen Guiley also says that they might be the root of this problem as well, because they've been involved in a lot of the bad hauntings as well, right? So people can conjure Djinn. There's Djinn magic. There's Djinn, all kinds of Djinn shit out there.
Oh.
And apparently, that might be a thing too. So, I don't know if they're one and the same, but that's what she says. Yeah. So, anyway, I guess what can we do to clear a place if there is shadow people in the place, right? So do they leave by smudging or saging a place, right? But what does Amy Allen say about saging a place?
Well, I know that there's right and wrong ways of doing it. I know that there's ways. I'm not super familiar with any of this, but I know that there's ways that you can almost trap an entity into a home instead of getting it out. So you have to do it in a certain way to make sure that you're actually getting the entity out and blocking it from coming back in. And I think this is like an ongoing thing you have to do. It's not like a one and done. You just walk around with some sage and it's like, pff, they're gone. Like, you have to, it has to be a well-planned thing. And you have to do it in the correct way, which I'm no expert. I have no idea what that way is. But I believe that if you do it correctly, then you can basically get the shadow people out.
So smudging like all the doors and the windows and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I think there's like more to it than that. I mean, depending on what's going on in the house and why the shadow people are there. So
What do you mean?
So if there's some kind of ritual that was done or some kind of curse that was placed and that's why they're there, then
like a ceremonial magic ritual.
Right. I think that's different in that you can't just sage them out. Like, you have to, depending on why they're actually there, is how you get them out and release them.
So if there was some kind of ritual done,
and I think that there's entities that can create shadow people, and I think
so they're not conscious beings. You're saying?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know if they are almost dependent on something else that kind of creates them, or if they are just bound to the land because of some reason. A demon.
Oh, like a demon, like is like the head guy, and he sends out these little minions out. Okay. I mean, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that.
I'm not sure.
Huh. So
because I think they're I personally think that they are different than just a ghost. Just a ghost. Quote.
So they're not a dead person walking around your house.
I don't think so.
Something else.
I think there's a difference between a dead person and a shadow figure.
Okay.
But I think that a shadow person can be, I think that they always have negative intent.
Shadow people?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. It seems that way.
So what about the guy
do you ever hear any good?
So that dude that wrote me on Twitter, he said it scared the shit out of him, but they weren't bad.
They were just hanging out there.
They were just out. There's there. So I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, you're probably right. I have literally no idea.
I have no idea either.
So I wonder. I guess that idea kind of does make sense to me, where they're kind of like Tolkien type figures, where like they're created for a purpose, and they just hang around a place.
I don't know. I mean, to me, that seems like that's what it would be.
So why do we see him here?
Why do we see them at our house?
Yeah. I
don't know.
Like, can they hop on and just come back from a place, or are they like an...
I don't know. I mean, I think that another entity could latch on. And then maybe that creates the shadow people? I'm not sure.
So
Depending on the intent of the entity.
So the guy that we're seeing at our house could possibly be created by an entity that we brought back from some other place.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, who knows?
Do you think that they're able to physically manifest like poltergeist activity, or like are they just there to scare the shit out of you?
I don't even know if they're always there to scare you. I mean, it seems like they are. I don't know. I mean, I don't see anything good coming from them. It never seems like they want anything good to happen. I mean, it seems like it's purposeful in how they maneuver around. And, I mean, just, for example, the person that walked up on me, I mean, that was intense. I mean, I stepped back like somebody was walking into me, and it was so fast. It was so fast. So, I mean, to me, that felt very aggressive. Like, who rushes up on somebody that quick? So, that felt very negative to me.
I see.
So, I mean, if I'm looking at that example, I'm thinking, okay, so you clearly didn't want me to come into that space. You're guarding that space for some reason. Why? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be any of these things, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I guess if anybody that's listening has any more information, we'd appreciate it, because apparently we have an issue at our house.
I mean, I would not call it an issue.
I mean, not a persistent issue, but there's multiple people in the house have seen it.
We've had some run-ins.
We've had some run-ins.
I would not deem it as a persistent issue.
Not a scary, persistent issue. Not plates flying across the damn kitchen or whatever. but apparently there's some shit here at the house. I don't know. So, yeah. So
I mean, after that, I was kind of freaked out for a couple of days, but I don't feel anything really.
But you haven't seen it since, right?
I haven't seen it since, and I really don't. You get that feeling like something's off. It doesn't feel quite right, or you get that feeling like something's watching you, or you see something run past you, or whatever. I definitely haven't had any of that I couldn't easily explain.
So we have had, I guess we haven't mentioned this. We've had an issue where we've sensed or seen a shadow in our room in the middle of the night, right? We've had that a few times. And that's been recently. So it's kind of like the dude on Twitter telling me that, the three beings were just hanging out in his room. Mm-hmm. Is that aggressive? That's not aggressive, but it makes you feel creepy and weird, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want something staring at me while I'm sleeping.
Right. No.
All right, that's weird.
That is weird.
I'm thinking a smudging of our room is in order. I don't want that shit in my room staring at me.
Well, somebody needs to help us figure out how to do that.
Yes. Please, tutorials welcome. Links to smudging tutorials needed.
So, everybody kind of has their own idea of what this is and why they're here. If they're good, if they're not.
But the consensus here is that they're probably bad.
They're probably bad. But, I mean, people would say that ETs aren't bad. And there's people that will definitely say that ETs are bad, but there are definitely people that would say ETs aren't bad. So if we're saying that they too are an ET, then are they bad?
See, that's what throws me off, because I don't think ETs are bad. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some ones that are bad, right? If they're here to study us, they're probably not here to kill us. They're probably not here to do stuff. I mean, they're here to study, right?
Maybe, but then what happens to the people that just disappear?
That's some missing 411 stuff right there. Yeah, we definitely need to talk about that.
Right. So, I mean, people are just disappearing, but I mean, you can argue that they don't want to do bad to you, but they'll take you.
Yeah, they might be floating in some water or some fucking alien jelly somewhere. I don't know, on a ship, on a Battlestar, whatever.
I tell you what, that Fire in the Sky movie horrified me.
It scared the shit out of you. Huh?
I was like 11, maybe 12 when I seen that. There was like 10 girls. We were doing a slumber party. It freaked me the fuck out. I said, oh my God. I'll never forget that movie.
What he said?
I told you, I said, there's this movie when we first got together, Fire in the Sky. You were like, what's that? I'm like, this is the freaky shit.
We went back and watched it. It turns out it wasn't that freaky, but for an 11-year-old girl, I mean, it might.
Listen, 11. I was done.
Yeah.
It was pretty scary stuff. But what's the movie that
The Fourth Kind.
The Fourth Kind. That movie. I just got chills thinking about it. Freaks me out.
That movie is insane.
I am like freaking out thinking about it. I am freaking out thinking about it.
When they do like the psychologist tapings or whatever, where the people are floating in the room.
My gosh, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
So, if you want to see a scary movie,
watch The Fourth Kind.
Watch The Fourth Kind, because I could not turn my lights off in my bedroom for like 3 days. Call me a pansy, whatever.
It was hard to sleep those 3 days.
I mean, I thought I was
not because of the aliens, because of the lights. Right? Couldn't sleep because I was so much light.
I was seeing owls everywhere. Oh God, it was scary.
Yeah. So I guess.
Okay, so questions.
Yeah.
Are shadow people aliens? Are they not?
Okay, let's go one by one. Shadow people, are they aliens? Yes or no?
No.
I say maybe.
You can't say maybe.
Oh, I said maybe.
That's weak.
Okay. There are possibly aliens. Possibly ultra-terrestrials, because I don't know if the alien phenomenon is ultra-terrestrial or extraterrestrial.
This
right?
is lame. You gotta give an answer.
Okay. No, they're not the same.
Okay.
Are they Djinn? Or related to the Djinn in some manner, shape, or form?
No.
No, I don't think so either. Are the accounts and studies by Rosemary Ellen Guiley of people seeing shadow people correlated with people being abducted, is that a thing?
I mean, one could argue that somebody's just batshit crazy.
I mean, that's true too.
They're seeing aliens and they're seeing other people.
They're on meth or something?
Freaking yes. is they did too much coke. Like, I mean, who knows? Like, who knows? I don't know.
But for real though, is it is it a thing? I think it's a thing.
So you're
Yes.
telling, okay, so this,
Because they're the
so you're saying that the people that were being abducted, are these people being abducted, or are we just seeing the aliens?
one and the same.
Okay, so they could have been abducted, they could have just seen the aliens.
Yes.
And they're also seeing
Shadow people.
shadow people.
Yes.
And you're saying that this happens majority of the time?
In her research, it did. I don't think it's. I mean, I don't know if it's across the board, but in her research, she wrote a book about it. She says
Okay,
it is.
so I don't know. I'm a pansy. So shadow people kind of freak me out, but an alien, that shit's freaking me out. So if I see an alien or I'm abducted, you better. I'm freaking out. I'm thinking I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. Probably for the rest of my life. I'm probably in a freaking asylum. Like, just saying.
You're hanging
mean,
out at Trans-Allegheny or something.
right. Like, I'm heavily medicated. I'm taking like 3 antipsychotics. Like, I'm not even joking.
If you see one alien.
if not necessarily, no. If I'm abducted.
Oh, if you're abducted. Okay. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
I mean, I have PTSD like nobody's business.
It sounds like you have PTSD right now.
I mean, from Fourth Kind, yeah, I do.
The movie effed you up that bad.
Like, might have to go to the doctor, talk to the doctor. I don't know. So, I'm just saying. If I'm abducted, yeah. Like, I'm probably a little gun shy. I probably do see things that I'm probably freaking the hell out.
So you would say that might be a valid.
So it might be.
Yeah. So I would say yes to that. So, okay. So I guess the last question is, how do we, or do you think that we can be protected by different smudging things or different sigils that we write on the doors or the windows or whatever to protect us from these things?
I don't know.
You got to go one way or the other. Like
I
you told me,
know.
don't be a pansy. Give us an opinion. Stand on your opinions.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, so yes. Okay.
I'm gonna say yes because if you can determine what's creating them, then you can find ways to push them out and protect yourself.
Okay. So I would agree with you.
Depending on why they're there
Yes.
and what conjured them or what created them or if they were already there before you moved in or whatever.
Okay. Okay, so I would agree with you.
So I think there's ways to get rid of them. Therefore, we should probably do those things so that aliens don't come to our house.
Yeah. Because we've had a fourth kind experience. Apparently,
I mean, just saying.
she will lose her shit.
Maybe we need to like figure that out.
Maybe you've already lost your shit.
Living with you, probably.
Sounds like it. Okay, so I guess to wrap this up here, what do you? I mean, you guys tell us what these are. Write to us on Twitter, Circle Path, the Circle Path. Get us through email. Yeah, we got a new email address. It's thecirclepath@gmail.com. We've also got the website. You guys can go on thecirclepath.com. You can follow us on all of the podcast platforms now that we're officially accepted on iTunes, Google Play, right?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Or the Google Podcast. I don't have an Android phone, so I don't know what the hell it is, but we're there, apparently.
We're doing things.
We submitted to all the things. They like us everywhere. The TuneIn app, we're there. And we're even on Spotify, I think. So
You think?
Actually, I know because I checked. So I should have said I know that we are on Spotify.
Oh.
So should you like to listen on any of those different platforms, we should be there. So,
Okay.
yeah. This has been The Circle Path. Thanks for listening.
I'll give you an update on my weight loss.
Yes, your New Year's resolutions, we have to know. On February 1, tell us how many of you failed, because I'm thinking about 95% of us will fail.
Wow.
I'm including myself in that 95%. I suck at resolutions. I never do them.
Well,
But whatever. I hope you guys win the decade, win the year, and win your resolutions. Okay? Don't let me be Debbie Downer. You're gonna do it. You're gonna win. You're gonna win life. You are going to win your weight loss stuff,
oh, well.
and I will win the Astrals. Okay?
Winning the Astrals.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
This has been The Circle Path. My name is Adam Skaggs. That is
Alicia.
And we'll see you next week. Thanks.
All right. Cool.
Bye.
Bye.